Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Hard Talk with Jakim show. Peace and blessings. This is Jakim from the Hard Talk with Jakim show. Can't get enough of the Hard Talk with Jakim show? You can email us at btom6164@gmail.com. That's bthomp6164@gmail.com. Peace. 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 This is Jakim from the Hard Talk with Jakim show. You can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter at The Real Jakim. That's at The Real Jakim. Remember, no punks allowed. Peace.
Have more money than we have, Fantasia.
You don't know that.
Okay.
A lot of artists that you see, they look like they have it. And we smile and we come out and we put on a good show. But in real life, some of them are struggling and we don't have it. I'm just now building myself back up. I lost everything twice. So I cook my own food. I don't need no chef. I'm from North Carolina. My grandma.
Yes. Peace and blessings, y'all. This is Jakim with the Hard Talk with Jakim show. Listen, we are looking to see if we can get PJ DAKOTA. She just sent me something. They are having some power issues out there in Minnesota or Michigan, excuse me. So we're going to go along and chug along and hopefully she'll get on. Hey, look, she's almost on. So again, this is on Friday. This is the Hard Talk with Jakim show. We're here and we're doing it on a cold Friday. Let me just move over here because since I wanted to make it a little bit better for us. So yeah, we got a cold Friday. We're going to kick it here. We are welcomed with a great artist, PJ DAKOTA. Big shout outs to you. I didn't think you was going to make it, and you made it. So give me a round of applause.
Thank you.
Before I introduce her to you, I got to know her from a good friend of ours to a good friend of the show and another person that's been on the show before. That's Jonathan Coleman. And yes, that was Fantasia. That was a video from Fantasia that I played earlier in the music business that, you just can't assume that everybody is getting paid in the music business. So we're going to talk to PJ DAKOTA. I saw that you had 90,000 streams. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right, so you let the Hard Talk with Jakim, and listen, we're not going to be talking too many politics tonight. We're going to be talking the music industry. We're going to get into it. Most of my viewers know we get into the politics and the civics, but tonight we're going to be talking the industry, especially black music. So let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, PJ DAKOTA, give him a round of applause and tell the people what you're about and what your music is like.
What up, though, everybody? Thank you. Is it Jakim?
Jakim.
Saying it right? Yeah,
Jakim, like Eric B. and Rakim. Jakim.
Yeah. Got you. Well, thank you for having me on the show and everybody that's watching. I go by the name of PJ DAKOTA. I'm an R&B hip hop artist. And we got a couple singles out right now that's doing really well on the charts and stream wise. And the 90,000 that you're referring to, those are actually streams on YouTube. We just reached the 200,000 mark on Spotify. So we're getting them numbers up. It's a process, but we're getting them up there. And I got new music coming out at the top of the year and a bunch of other projects that I'm working on with other artists and other compilations and projects that I plan on putting out, showcasing other artists as well. But I'm a songwriter, producer, engineer, kind of do it all, management, everything. And you get like that because the industry is tough to get into. And you get to that point where right now, being in the industry is very lucrative to be independent. But you'd be surprised at how many independent process of being successful in the independent arena, in this industry.
Yeah. So can you hear me? It looked like you froze for a second. All right. We'll be right back with PJ Dakota, but I'm gonna just say this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got her back. So if you ever pop out, you can pop back in, and we got your back. So yes, PJ, you are absolutely right. In fact, I got one of my black bass guitars over here. I got one of my black bass guitars over here. I love it when I'm able to play some music. I'm a musician as myself, and you're absolutely right. In this day and age, it's a lot better than when I was doing music in the 80s, where we only had to deal with either really small record companies or we had to deal with big record companies who wanted to take so many points from you, and they weren't giving you points, and they wanted to take it. Everybody knows the story with Prince and everybody else, and I applaud you on that. It's very important to have your hands in many different facets of the music business. How do you feel about that?
Repeat the last part, because you've been going in and out on your end.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's very important to have your hands in many, like you said earlier, you have your hands in many facets of the music business. Is that important to you?
Oh, it's very important. It's very, very important. And it's important just to know it, whether or not you eventually go and do it. You know what I'm saying? If you're still an artist out there that still wants to get signed, you still can get signed. But it's very important to know once you hand over and you sign the Hancock on the contract, you still need to know what they're doing for you. So when they start doing things and the money ain't looking right or whatever, you need to know why, because they're going to give you reasons. Well, we had to pay for this, and we had to. Hey, send me the itemized list and show me what you've been spending my money on that I didn't even know you were spending on. So knowing all the ins and outs of that, I think it's very important.
Yeah, it's I actually tell people that it's actually easier in some ways, and it's harder in other ways. The music business, but we've always got a lot of stuff in this industry that is always shady. Let me just play for you. I don't know if you saw it. Did you see that video for Fantasia?
But let me play that. Independent artists, we do the exact same thing that the majors do. The biggest difference is your budget.
That is correct. Let me play this video for Fantasia real quick, and I'm gonna cut right back. We'll be right back with the Hard Talk with Jakim show. Check this out.
More money than we have, Fantasia.
You don't know that. Okay. A lot of artists that you see, they look like they have it, and we smile and we come out and we put on a good show. But in real life, some of them are struggling, and we don't have it. I'm just now building myself back up. I lost everything twice. So I cook my own food. I don't need no chef. I'm from North Carolina. My grandma and my mom.
All right, y'all. Yeah, I was loving Fantasia's honesty. And there's another one I have later on with Maya when, because some of the, I also DJ and I'm all over the place with that as well. We got the taste of Motown and more. Y'all check it out with DJ Jakim. But we had in the 90s some great music from the 90s on to the early 2000s. We had some great music and some great artists out there. And a lot of them were financially broke or financially didn't get what they paid, even though Prince told us about this years ago. I got a question for you, sister. And I heard some of your music. I like it. I think you could go real far with this because I know you have the tenacity, because that's the biggest thing in the music business. I've always said you have to have perseverance. What do you say about that? Can you hear me? You have to have perseverance. Is that true?
Oh, no, totally. That's definitely a requirement of this job is that tenacity. Yes, you have to, because they're not, the way the industry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you now.
Hello?
I got you.
Can you hear me? Okay. Okay. It's definitely important because how the industry is now, they don't offer the A&R part of it. They don't do the development part of it. So you got to have all of that figured out when you come to that table. You got to be already wrapped up with the bow on it and perfect. So no, you got to stay at it and put all that in, and you can't let nobody tell you that your music is not good. It's, to me, it's billions of people on the earth, and it's, that one person, they don't count. That your taste is not theirs. That's fine. You worry about the other millions and billions of people.
Oh yeah, absolutely right. I just got a message, a DM from Jonathan, and Jonathan said, "All right, we're good to go." So, yeah, you're absolutely right. And in the music business, I've found the music business today, and there are some similarities to the music business of the past. But one of the things that I found that you said that is 100% correct is that you have to be multifaceted, and that's the only thing they have more than you. Money and maybe the distribution. And distribution is everything.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
Distribution.
Oh, yeah, there you go. You're right. You know, one of the things that we also have is, do you let other DJs or anybody remix your stuff?
I've never been approached on it. If approached on it, yeah, I would let them.
Right, because that's one of the things that is with so many of those little gadgets now that we can loop and they take out the voice and take out the music, take the voice and those are now could be very lucrative. My issue and maybe your issue as well, and we're gonna play some more videos and we're gonna be right back. But my issue is, when are y'all gonna get paid for all of these people using music on Instagram?
Exactly. I don't know. I think on our end as the artist, make sure, and I'm always preaching this, make sure you got your paperwork right, regardless of wherever your music is being played. If you don't have it registered in and then registered in the right places, it doesn't matter. You're not gonna get paid anyway. But I think they're working on it with TikTok and all of them, and where they have to start paying us. So it should start, showing up. Because I know I just got hit up on the whole thing about being able to receive money, based off the videos that we upload and all that. But it's so small. But I guess better something than nothing. So
yeah, you're absolutely right. One of the things I'm still registered with BMI because we put out a record in the 91 and it did well overseas. Didn't do well here, but I think that was because we was with a small company that only put out low volume. But I will tell you this, what I see for Instagram and TikTok is that if they ever put this revenue right and that y'all get paid, y'all gonna get paid, because Beyonce alone, from that Cuff It, every song and everybody doing their dance, I'm like, yo, she should be getting paid. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, correct.
They got to get that revenue right, and once they get that revenue right, and especially for you independent artists, that's gonna really bring it in. And let me tell you something, for all y'all that don't know, that BMI money, that ASCAP money, believe you me, $5 every quarter. Something like that. So it's not like we rolling in the dough because we had a recording artist or something like that. So it's
right. Yeah, right? Well, don't scare the people. You know what I'm saying?
No, I ain't gonna scare you. But I want you to support the artist by buying their record. Don't think that they just gonna live off of royalties.
Right. But it's the song and it's the budget. My magic word for tonight is budget, because you put the right budget around and you can push it, because that's just one avenue, people. He just naming one, which is Instagram. You got TikTok, you got YouTube, you got Amazon, you got all these different places where your money comes into, and that basically adds up. But if you get a song that can get on the Billboard charts and get you some numbers and you get to the $1 million mark or whatever, you can receive a very nice check from ASCAP for BMI, whoever you're with. But like he's saying, this little small stuff coming from over there, yeah, you're right. It's like $5, $10.
Well, what I was really comparing was when we were doing it, we only had ASCAP or BMI, and that was the only people that actually did your royalties, and we didn't have the streaming services.
No.
When I was,
Let me stop you there. No.
Other than movies.
No. Nobody told you about Sound Exchange and on them other places. That's the difference there. You only knew about ASCAP and BMI. Y'all wasn't registered with everybody else. This is even before TikTok and all of that. There's avenues, ASCAP, your UPC codes, all that type of stuff.
Oh, sure.
Other areas. So if you only have ASCAP or BMI, that's the only area that's going to cover that. So there were other things,
that's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying, but I don't want them to think that.
Yeah, and well, it's always about publishing rights as well. So, publishing rights are another avenue, and that is another avenue that Prince and other people have been talking about for years. James Brown and all of them talking about owning. And then, of course, the masters. Now, we see a lot of our older artists like Anita Baker and even Taylor Swift try to get their masters back. Is that important to you?
Oh yeah, it's always important. And being independent right now, we all artists, listen to me. If you're independent, you're in the studio, you have your masters right now. Nobody's messing with your masters. When you go into the studio, have your let me get you I grab one. Get you one of these.
Yeah, flash drive.
Engineer. Exactly. Hand it to that engineer before you leave and get your masters. And you walk out of there with your masters. Nobody can have your stuff. But when you're in the industry studio, they have it because you're under contract. That's that difference. So don't think y'all don't have your masters. And I will go all day on this. Y'all stop buying these tracks. Stop doing these 2 tracks. Y'all buying these MP3s and then going in the studio recording over a 2-track and then think you got something. The industry ain't gonna even fuck with you because you got a 2-track song. You don't have the masters of the song. The person you bought that track from still has the masters, but that's another whole story. I'm sorry.
But let's go down that rabbit hole before we do any videos, because one of the things that we do and that is similar, that's still in the business, is a copyright release form. Anytime we do anything that we pay somebody to do for us, we make sure that, whether it be graphic arts or wherever, that they have a copyright release form, that they say, this is paid to you, and now you sign the rights of that copyright to us. Work for hire. That is so important. I'm glad you hit that one. That's very important. Mm-hmm. And if you got somebody else's music, you don't own that music. Ownership is everything in it. Yeah, that ownership is 100%. Whoever owns it is the one. And we just talked about a case a couple of months ago where I think it was 50 Cent was Rick Ross wanted to use that in the club, and 50 Cent told him he couldn't use in the club. And Rick Ross said, took him to court, and come to find out, 50 Cent did not own it. It was actually Eminem and Dr. Dre. Exactly. And they actually owned it. And go shorty, it's your birthday. That's actually Eminem and Dr. Dre. Yeah. So this is important for y'all, man. Yeah. Get those copyright release forms. If you got people working for you for hire, or if you're going to take somebody else's stuff, you better have a release. All right, y'all. I'm going to be right back with the Hard Talk with Jakim. We're talking to PJ DAKOTA. Yep. We're going to ask her where she's from and how cold it is, and we're going to talk some more music. But right before there, we're going to listen to Denzel Washington. Be right back, y'all. Peace.
Is the sheep preaching hate when he says, I'm not going to let the wolf eat me anymore? If the wolf comes in here, next time he comes in here, I'll do whatever I have to do to keep him off my back. Is the sheep violent, or is the wolf the violent one? He wasn't teaching hate. He was teaching common sense. Somebody's knocking you over the head, stop them. Do whatever you have to do to stop them. The ones that were knocking him over the head were afraid of the fact that he might swing back. So they said, no, he's teaching hate. He's violent.
Whenever you have a combination of alcohol, guns, drugs, egos.
Ego is very, very, very
hold on, let's not forget about the 2 most deadly diseases in our community, envy and jealousy. You have a combination or a cocktail where somebody's bound to get hurt. So what I'm teaching.
All right, y'all. Yeah, I just played Denzel Washington first and Derek Muhammad second, and you're absolutely right. Anytime you have a cocktail of drugs, alcohol, ego, jealousy, envy, and hate, you got a cocktail. Somebody's bound to get hurt, and that's one. All right, y'all. We're back again with PJ DAKOTA. Now, PJ, where are you hailing from?
I am hailing from Michigan, Flint, Michigan.
Oh, Flint, Michigan. Oh man, that's the spot, man. There you go, Flint, Michigan. Big shout outs to Flint, Michigan, y'all. Everybody heard about the water situation in Flint, but you know what? They got some artists in Flint, and you're listening to it right now. So again, we're going to be airing this tomorrow on our YouTube channel on Delaware Info Now. That's Delaware Info Now. You'll be able to see this interview on there on YouTube, and y'all can download it. And make sure you go and find, Google it right now, PJ DAKOTA. All right. So if you're watching it, PJ DAKOTA. All right. So PJ, we was getting into a little bit of how your process and how is your process in the studio? Are you making sure people are on time, or are you playing most of the instruments? How is that going for you?
It just depends on the project. I definitely prefer artists to be on time. Kind of a stickler with that, but
Me too.
some things, you know what I'm saying? Start learning people's egos and whatever, and they got to come in with their crew and they liquor and they weed and all that. Like, oh my God, we don't need all that. Let's come in and do, be ready to work. But this depends on the project, because like I mentioned earlier, most artists come in with a track already done, some 2-track that they just want to lay over vocals or whatever. And every now and then I might get somebody where we actually have to make the beat, make the track itself, and and go from there. So it just depends on the project.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things and I've been in many bands. Oh my God, I've been in so many bands, and that has always been our problem in bands. It doesn't matter whether it's black, white, Chinese, don't really matter. The bring in the drugs or the alcohol, and then you may have a talented person, but they are so addicted to whatever they're addicted to. Or you know what was the biggest problem for me, and it's probably when I had female singers in our band, it was always the boyfriend or the girlfriend of the female singer that always gave you the problem. And usually if that family life ain't working, the music business, the music industry is not kind to you if your family life ain't working. What do you say about that?
That's absolutely true. Absolutely true. And no matter what you tell these people, they don't get it. They gotta bump their heads, and they gotta go. You be like, don't go left, and they will go left every single time. And then be like, I hate the industry. No, you didn't have to. If you just listen.
That's right.
You didn't have to go.
That's right. I'm giving you a star for that one. You're absolutely right. To me, it always feels like the hard head always got to feel it to believe it, and even then, they're gonna blame somebody else. What can we say?
Oh, instantly blame somebody else.
When I played Fantasia earlier, the one thing that we stands out is that the interviewer said, "Well, you got more money than me." And Fantasia had to say, "Hold on, you don't know that.
You don't know that.
Don't count my. You don't know. I had to go through 2 bankruptcies and everything like that, and they don't take out the taxes, so you have to hire somebody to take out the taxes in the industry anyway. So
after the fact,
yeah, after the fact, that is correct. So I love that Fantasia hit straight. Listen, we'll be right back with the Hard Talk with Jakim. I want you to comment on what I'm getting ready to play here. I'm getting ready to play a video with Tupac, and I wish Tita took his advice on here because he was a deep brother. Big shout out to Tupac, rest in peace. But check this out, and we'll comment on this real quick. We're back with the recording artist, PJ DAKOTA.
Be to yourself. Stay to yourself. Trust nobody. Trust nobody. After dog. You know what I mean? Straight up. My closest friends did me in. My closest friends, my homies, people who I done took care of their whole family. I done took care of everything for them, looked out for them, put them in the game, everything. Turned on me. But I'm a soldier. I always survive. I'll constantly come back. You know what I mean? Only thing that can kill me is death. That's the only thing that'll ever stop me is death. And even then, my music will live forever.
All right, y'all. That was an interview with Tupac, and it was done at Rikers Island. In fact, when I was working at Rikers Island and in the New York City Department of Corrections for over 2 decades, when I was there, I never had to transport Tupac, even though he would have been what we call a high-level maximum security inmate because of notoriety. never had to transport him, but I can tell from the room where it was being recorded, that was Rikers Island. Now, Tupac said something about the jealousies. Now, I know when we have our studios, I have my studio here, and we still do music. I still got 3 keyboards over there and a bass over here. One thing I used to always tell people who were coming here to record, man, don't bring nobody here that you wasn't already approved. What do you do those things as well?
Yep. Oh yes, absolutely. I'm telling you, boy, you bring somebody in and they change the whole mood of what was the intentions of the session itself. You know what I'm saying? And you know that artist is not focused on the song because they're trying to entertain the person that came. I'm like, dude, if they ain't singing or rapping on this track, they gotta go.
That is correct. And you know, that's one of the things that and you know, still being in the industry, because I still DJ, and you know, I DJ at all over and casinos, wherever. And I see this all the time. People say, oh, yeah, you still doing some stuff. So, I got this track. I want to do it. And you have to be a discerning individual to really start looking at people from what they, I'm not saying I prejudge everybody and I'm right or wrong, but usually you can see the phony balonies a mile away. What do you say about that?
Absolutely, you feel man. And then you hear it in the music when they come in. You be like, "Oh, dog, this is what we came to do." Oh man, jeez, I just wasted an hour of my life. So yeah,
you know, and everybody think their stuff is the next big hit, is the next. You know, I'm not saying this stuff is trash. I'm not saying this stuff is garbage. But if everybody thinks they the next big hit, then man, then the hit must not be, the industry must not be looking at the right places. And a lot of times the industry gets it right. When they say you're not ready, a lot of times they are right.
They're right. Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I have had and we've had things here. My wife will tell you, she'll tell you in a heartbeat. I have to, she don't sing, but she does dance great. I'm giving her props for that. She don't sing professionally, but she always can tell when people come over to the house and they say, "Oh yeah, I got this, I got this." She said, "Oh Lord,
here we go." Right.
That's why you need that outside voice, because sometimes we get caught up with the glitz and the glamour or how somebody looks. Mm-hmm. And I judge people by talent and trait. Mm-hmm. And most of the time, I'm judging you by your traits more than your talent, because talent's a dime a dozen. We got a lot of people that are talented. But if you have traits where you're disciplined, that's the type of person I want to work with. What do you say about that?
Absolutely, absolutely. And those things, once again, those things is what the industry look for. You like, I'm just the engineer, I'm just the studio guy. But that's exactly what the industry looks for. They want to know, can we trust you to come in here on our dollars, which is really your dollars, and come in here and deliver and give us a hit. So, you say, I'm a songwriter, I'm on this. All right, then they can put you to the test. So deliver.
Yeah, one of the things that I have found also, you're right. One of the things I have found is that nowadays, there was a time when our industry was basically very young centric. We're talking about they're looking for people that's 18, 20, 22, no more than 30 years old, and they were really young centric. We're talking about the 80s, 90s. But what happened now, because of line music and line dancing and other stuff it's not that way anymore. No. And that is the beauty. That's the one thing that I like about this time than it was from the 80s, 90s, or 70s. What do you say? No,
I agree. But that's what I think that's in favor of being independent now. They still got that requirement in the industry. You still got to be the young buck in the field. That's as far as who they're going to still sign. But if you still got that, you got that hit, and you might be a little bit older, and they see the demographics that you still pulling in the younger and the older, generation, they'll sign you still.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. I remember, what was it about? Everybody knows on my show, I'm a big poker player, been gambling for years. And I do tournaments. And we went out about 4 years ago. We was out in Vegas, and we went to a pit bull concert. And I'm going to tell you, I went to a pit bull concert. I have never seen the demographics that I saw with
So
Pitbull
quick
at that
is
concert.
why.
White,
Yeah.
Asian, black, Hispanic, young, old. I said, man, this guy's got a crazy demographic. Now that's the demographics you want. Am I right or wrong? Yeah, he had a demographic.
Exactly.
Yeah, he had a demographics that you always pay attention to your demographics. You should know who's coming to your concerts, your shows, who you got. And listen, for young artists, if you're listening right now, if you see this, because I'm probably going to chop it up, put it on different social media platforms, a mailing list is still important. Get a mailing list. What do you say, PJ?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah,
That's true.
that is
Totally
very
agree. Once again, it's that
Go ahead. Yeah.
that falls in. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you good.
What were you saying?
No, you good. You good.
Oh, I was saying that. Yeah. Okay. Well, I was saying that falls in line with the marketing thing, and you're promoting. Who you gonna market to? How you gonna get it to them? So you got to have, and that's just one of the forms of how you get your music and your information to the people is that email. So and there's a process to it. Get you a team that know how to do that for you, and that'll get that moving.
And yeah, I will tell you that it is so important in so many levels and so many aspects of business. At this point, we're just talking business, not necessarily music business, but it is important in that business as well. Those traits will carry over to all business when you could do that. All right, y'all, we'll be right back with PJ Dakota. We're going to talk about some other music stuff. And I just got a couple of videos I want to show you. One from the late, great Muhammad Ali, y'all, about purpose, y'all. Peace.
I'm happy because I'm fulfilling my purpose of life. See, everything was created for purpose. Trees have a purpose. The moon has a purpose. Rats have a purpose. Insects, everything God created has a purpose. That's another one of my lectures entitled The Purpose of Life. And the wise man is he who knows his life purpose. See, 10 men with the knowledge of their purpose are more powerful than 1,000 men working from morning until evening and who don't know their purpose.
All right, y'all. Listen, we had the late, great Muhammad Ali, and we had Brother Cabo on there about trying to convince people. So you're absolutely right. And in the music business, you're not really trying to convince people. Either people going to like it or not. We had a show here that's pretty popular called What the Blank is Art. And I'm using the F word in there. So that's when we're on fan base. And what is art and what is beauty? And a lot of times it's up to you to determine it. Mostly they say art is and beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I say, nah, usually art and beauty is in the mind of the beholder. And what do you say about that, sister?
Okay.
Yeah?
I can see it both ways. I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, so
you gotta be open. You gotta be open to different things. So
Right. And if you had to categorize, and I hate categories, don't get me wrong, I hate them, always hate them. But if you had to categorize your sound, what would you say your sound is like?
That's always a weird question to me when people ask me that. So help me explain like what type of answer are you looking for? I'm confused. Like what?
Is it a bubbly sound? A lot of times, is it a bubbly sound? Is it a party type atmosphere sound? Is it a more reflective? How do you feel about it? More reflective or social issue sound? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can't even hear you. You're frozen on my ear.
Oh, okay. We're actually, it looks good over here.
I can hear you now.
Yeah, it's going in and out. We having bad weather all over the country, right?
Okay. Okay. Well,
Yeah. So yeah, is it bubbly? Is it
yeah, that's true. Okay.
danceable?
Well, just say the last part again because it was all choppy.
Right. Is the music bubbly? Is it danceable?
Okay.
Is it something?
There we go.
Yeah, upbeat.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. PJ, is it upbeat or bubbly? What do you say?
Okay. I give you a little bit of everything. I'll give you the Just Gay song. You know, that was kind of just trying to get you in the mood. Then I give you some romance songs. I get you some anthem type of songs. So then I give you some message songs. So I kind of give you a little bit of everything in the scope of my music.
Okay, that's important. Yeah, well, you know what? That to me is the way a musician should be doing their art. If you get locked up into a sound that's not art anywhere, you're just trying to imitate the last thing that was your hit. So I like that. All right, can you hear me, PJ?
Yeah.
All right. So listen, we'll be right back with PJ Dakota. We're gonna do a couple of more, but this time, what do you say? All right, we'll be right back with PJ Dakota. We're gonna fix that so we can get it in and be right back. Peace.
I believe in upward mobility.
Of course.
Right?
Absolutely.
Of course you do.
But I'm not going to give up one drop of melanin in order to get there. I'm not going to erase my race or my gender to get there. I want all of it. I deserve all of it, and we all do. I don't want to be blanded, bleached out in order to participate in this country and walk any hall of power or corridor that I want to. If I'm not good enough, if I'm not smart enough, then that's it. I'll take that.
They're a part of the union. The reason why they go overseas is because they can stretch that dollar to their land.
Okay, sure, they can do that.
Agencies that are partnered, and I'm just going off of what Annette just said, especially with the foreign, African-American, foreign, they are deemed prettier when they walk in the room, and they can speak a different language, and then all of a sudden sound American to a casting director for some odd reason right now in our world. That to them is, oh, that's special. But they still speak.
All right, y'all. So we're back with PJ Dakota. Can you hear me, PJ? PJ? Your mute is on. Mute. All right. So we're having a little technical difficulty with PJ on here. It looks like her mic is, she has a mic on. Let's see if we can unmute the mic. All right, so she is frozen. So if we get her to come back in, we'll finish up with PJ Dakota. We're talking music business today, so we're talking those music, and she's an artist, and she's going to come right back in. And since she's gone, let me just go and give you a little bit of things that's going on, y'all. So again, in our world, we have the end of. Okay, there she goes. She's coming back in. We have the end of the year, so we're going to be doing the best of the Hard Talk with Jakim show starting on the week of 2026. We're going to start the best of Jakim, the Hard Talk with Jakim show on December 26th. So you'll see all the great interviews that we had during the time. Looks like we got PJ back again. You're back again, sis? All right. Looks like she's trying to get back in. So we'll have that.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Just totally went up.
Yeah, right. Are you back now?
Yes.
All right. So listen, I want everybody to be able to get your stuff before we have some more issues. So tell them how they can actually download and get all your information.
All they gotta do is type PJ Dakota. That's how it's gonna come up everywhere, on every platform, every Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, you know what I'm saying? Apple Music, all of those. Just type in PJ Dakota, and that's where you can find me.
All right, y'all. So y'all got your marching orders. You already know. You type in PJ Dakota. You can listen to her sound. You can vibe to it. I hope you purchase it. I like the sounds. It's good. It's coming straight from Flint, Michigan. Represent the Michigan. And listen, one of my favorite college teams happens to be Michigan. I don't know if you're a Michigan State, but I'm a Michigan person. But yeah, so
yes, I'm
yes,
Michigan all day.
Yeah, Michigan all day for me too. Yeah. So we'll wrap up a little bit. We have 40 minutes now. We'll wrap up just a little bit and get a little bit more information about PJ. Now, PJ, are you big on doing a lot of live shows? Do you love doing that, or is mostly recording you like?
Oh, I do them both.
Okay.
In my area, it's kind of hard to find shows. That's probably the biggest thing is trying to find shows. So we probably got to do a lot. Like for 2023, we plan on doing a little bit more out of the state, doing shows that way. But I'm with both either way, recording or live.
Oh yeah, because I'm a big live guy. So plus I love recording, but I haven't recorded in such a long time. I think I've got right now, about 125 songs that are with the Library of Congress that I've copyrighted over years. And we've had some songs that have been used for other things, nothing really big, but we've had them used for smaller projects and stuff like that. And that's why it's important to copyright and get yourself an attorney.
Yep.
It's so important for you to do those things. So, the other thing that I wanted to talk about with Fantasia, when we played Fantasia, and I wanted to talk about that because we've always talked about all the negativity in the music industry. And we know that it's got 60 years of black music has been exploited in certain ways. But now, with YouTube and now with the social medias, you're able to do things that people like the Temptations or even Fats Domino wish they could do. And I applaud a lot of y'all going out there and doing that. So in this business, my question to you, in this business, do you still see as much ego as some of the other times, some of those other eras that they had massive egos? Because I'm sure you still see a lot of that.
Oh, it's probably worse. You know what I'm saying? Because this new young rap sound that's out right now, you can't tell them nothing. They grill hanged up and diamonds everywhere, man. You can't tell them nothing. So you got these wannabe rappers that's emulating in the hood and in the block, trying to look the same way and getting robbed. And man, you don't stop. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got no car, ain't got no house, you barely pay rent, but you trying to portray this look that's not you yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. Oh yeah, them Eagles out there for sure.
Yeah, we're watching the Tory and Megan Thee Stallion court case out there, and one of the things I was like, man, these egos are just massive. I would have thought it would have calmed down just a little bit. Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's right now in the industry, it's like crazy. I'm glad I don't have to deal with that side anymore. But big ups to all those that have to. And listen, I used to have to deal with some of the grimiest music promoters or club promoters. I used to have to deal with them. And also I bounced off. These, I know the ones now got to be the grimiest. Are they?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, still. The worst. The worst.
Yeah. So originally I'm from New York City. You heard me talk about correction. So I'm originally from Brooklyn, East New York. Big shout outs to East New York, y'all. Linden Project, y'all know the deal. But what we used to have to deal with was promoters not having money, promoters trying to put you on the stage and not paying you first. And if you're a young person right now and you're trying to get on, and even if it's a $50 gig, make sure you get your money up front. What do you say about that, PJ?
Yep. Absolutely. We just went through that maybe about a couple years ago, and it is a requirement now. You have to pay me first. I ain't touching one mic. I ain't getting on one stage. I'll be in my car waiting. You tell me to get my money. I'm not messing with you.
They are. So I could believe it, man. And everybody, when I was coming out of it, when I was actually doing a lot of bouncing, the promoters were getting younger and younger. Maybe they was closing down the block, that thing that they call culture. That's not really our culture. That's somebody else's culture put onto us. Yeah. And that's not the culture. But then, yeah, you flash all this I worked at, if y'all don't know, I've talked about it before. I worked at Sue's Rendezvous for 4 years. And Sue's Rendezvous was a big strip club over in Mount Vernon, New York. And we used to have all the stars and celebrities come through there all the time. And they would flash all that money around the strippers or trying to impress. But when it came to the artists at their shows, they would nickel and dime you. I never understood that. Yeah, what do you say about that, sis? They would nickel and dime you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they would nickel and dime you. Yeah,
exactly. That's not changed. That route that they do has not changed.
Yeah, they're great. It's fantastic. All right, y'all. So listen, we got one comment I'm gonna hit over here, and Jonathan Coleman made sure that he put in the chat that Instagram.com PJ DAKOTA. So it's real easy. Big shout outs to Jonathan there. We had a little connection issue, but it was all right. We muddled through because we're professionals. Right? So listen. I just got one more thing for you, PJ. PJ, if you had to say which one of your babies, which one of your songs is right now your favorite at this and the favorite to perform, which one would you say? Oh, she's gone, and we're going to be right back. Right back, y'all. And
now, Jesus was a man. He was human. He was not a white man. He was not a black man. He came from that part of the world that touches Africa and Asia and Europe, and he probably had a brown skin, very much like some of the Indian people here today. Christianity is not a white man's religion, and don't let anybody ever tell you that it's white or black. Christ belongs to all people. He belongs to the whole world. His gospel is for everyone, whoever you are. The scripture says. When Jesus was a little boy and they tried to kill him, his mother brought him to Africa. When he was on the way to the cross to die and he was carrying the cross and he stumbled and fell, it was an African that helped him.
All right, y'all. Yeah, that was Billy Graham. Y'all can comment on that. What do y'all feel about that? And to all those people that celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, all that good stuff. Listen, again, like I told you, we're going to be doing the best of the Hard Talk 2022. So we're going to be doing the best of the Hard Talk starting December 26th. And we also going to do the best and worst politicians in Delaware. So if you peep in the best and worst politicians in Delaware, peep in, send me a DM, go to btom6164 if you want to nominate somebody as a good politician here in Delaware or a bad politician. And remember, we're going to do the criteria as such, y'all. So we're going to be doing that on January 1st. January 1st is when we're going to have a show calling the best and worst politicians of 2022 here in Delaware. And if you got somebody that you want to nominate, DM me in the Hard Talk with Jakim show on Facebook or IG at The Real Jakim. Or you can just send it to btom6164 at gmail.com. That's BTHOMP 6164. And we criteria is this: if they showed an anti-black agenda, they're going to make the list here in Delaware. If they are anti-environmental, they're going to make the list here. And if they are pro-business, big business, banking, and not for small business, they're going to make the list. So those are my 3 criterias. That's going to be on January 1st, but all next week we're going to be doing the best of the Hard Talk with Jakim show. All right, y'all. Well, looks like we lost PJ Dakota. We're on a big shout out to PJ. Big shout out to her. She was a fantastic guest. We was having some connectivity with Michigan, but go check her out. PJ Dakota. PJ Dakota on all the platforms. This has been the Hard Talk with Jakim show. Peace out, y'all. I'll see you next week with the best of the Hard Talk with Jakim. Peace.
There we have it. After months of deceit and deception, the pathetic spectacle of a man who's run out of road. His defense that he didn't realize he was at a party. It is so ridiculous that it's actually offensive to the British public.